was sitting there punching in my IG, and I was looking at my little TJ haircut I did. Y'all know I be trying to be cheap, cut my own hair, and I'm looking at anyway. When I ain't public speaking, I be doing some stuff, cut my own hair. Y'all don't laugh at me. This is me in documentary mode, book writing mode, you know. Mm. Yeah, I want to talk about some things that I was just noticing. You know, like people don't realize when they start talking about uh, when the schools started pushing hardcore on going to college, and that meant no skilled labor. So what they didn't realize, you gotta whenever you do something, there's gonna be a long term effects of whatever it is you're gonna do. So you gotta do like in real estate, they call it a feasibility study or something like that. When you're getting ready to build a high rise building, getting ready to build a shopping center, you have to do a feasibility study to see what are the effects going to be on that area once you bring in a high rise building, for example. So without that, people just start doing stuff, and the next thing you know, they be like, oh man, the effects is damaging. So I don't believe that our community did a feasibility study when they started pushing higher education. I believe they did. I believe Booker T did. I believe Marcus Garvey did. They overstood the effects of what was going to happen if we continue or started pushing higher education and pulled everyone away from the trades. And now we're living it, but they're not blaming it on that. They're trying to say it's other things. They choose not to talk about the high cost of automotive repairs. They choose not to talk about the high cost of labor to fix houses, the shortage of skilled workforce. They don't want to give that too much airplay. But lately it's been hitting the media. But you don't never hear about that in our schools. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't really, that's not something that's popular to talk about because it's all about higher education. But the point is, when we start pursuing more higher education, that then all of a sudden the skilled labor started taking off in prices. Automotive repairs is super expensive. Home construction repairs and upgrades super expensive. You know, I've been dealing with that in the lowrider industry over like the last plus decade plus. And I remember I was telling y'all, I said when I started messing with my lowrider paint jobs, started getting real expensive. I was having a hard time finding skilled people who knew how to build cars and who knew how to work on them. I started having to pay more money to the people who was there, you know, and the next thing you know, that means we started raising the prices for the paint jobs, started raising the prices to build cars. So now it's so bad that to paint a lowrider, you can pay upwards of $40,000. You know what I'm saying? Just to paint a car, just to shoot a paint on it, and then that ain't got nothing to do with all those graphics and patterns and murals and all that kind of stuff. But same thing with rehabbing the house. That's expensive. You come in there and say you want to build a brand new house from the ground up, they talking like super crazy amounts of money. You know, you come in there and say, I know people who got mansions that are having a hard time finding labor to come over there and do work. So now you got people who will hire people like myself to come work for them, have their own personal. Celebrities are having their own personal tradesmen. Y'all heard what I said? Celebrities are hiring their own personal mechanics. They're hiring their own personal home maintenance people. You know, people who know how to do things, who maintain their mansions. Because if you look at these, see, conversations that we don't tend to have in our communities is celebrities that got big old giant mansions, you got to think about it. If you having problems with your small 1,500, 3,000 square foot house, and people got 4,500 square foot houses, they'd be like, wow, this thing, it's cost me money to maintain this house. This ain't but 4,500 square feet. Can you imagine if you have 45,000 square feet? Well, a lot of them celebrities got them big houses, but here's the thing. When you got a house half of that, quarter of that size, that shit is expensive. It could be very expensive to maintain those houses. I've had regular houses, you know what I'm saying? I remember my ranch house, you know what I'm saying? I'll talk about my ranch house to be exact. That house was 21 something square feet. It was a 1-story flat, long. It was a ranch house sitting on acreage. It had 2.3 acres. I'm telling y'all, every winter that came up, I had it seemed like the water, it got cold and the pipes would try to bust because it was an older house that I bought it from someone. I had gentrified, well, not gentrified. I had broke the red line in the neighborhood. I'm gonna say that again. I had broke the red line in the neighborhood, and I bought this house, because it had a shop in the backyard. It had a big old building in the backyard that looked like the house, and I was like, oh, I got to have that. So I was able to move right in. The day I moved in, before I even put furniture in the house, I was moving cars into the shop. I remember somebody said, he buying this house not because he like it. He buying it because he like that shop in the backyard. I was like, yep, that's exactly why I'm buying it, because I can pull cars into the backyard right now with no problem. So, y'all, can I get some likes or some shares? Can y'all share this video for me? I'm trying to stay consistent with my lives, y'all. So I appreciate if y'all can do some likes and some shares and let your people know that I'm here, that I exist. Oops. I appreciate y'all TikTok. What's up, IG? Can I get some love? You know what I'm saying? So, some donations. I got my Cash App. That's the phone number, 310-619-3954. If anybody want to make a donation, a love offering. If they are people that benefit from the investments of all which, according to credible sources, will wipe out approximately 30% of the U.S. labor force years from now. That's not a good cost banana. So you're absolutely right, and that's why they're going after the skilled labor. They're tricking us as a community and telling our community, y'all need to go get a college degree. They're tripling down on college so that others can go after the labor jobs, the trades. You know what I'm saying? Because AI will not, I'm going to say that again, AI will not be replacing skilled labor. I'm going to tell y'all that. I don't care how much y'all see of them building, this new technology, they're going to be building these houses by computer. This is going to do this, and this is going to build the house, and look at this new technology. It don't matter. It does not matter, because you got to look at America like this. America's all about capitalism. When was the last time something was made that totally reduced the price of anything in America? I'll wait. Y'all type that in for me. When was the last time a new technology came out and drove the price down on anything that is sold to us in America? And I want y'all to write that in. Help me out. I ain't trying to say it ain't possible, but I'm trying to say, when was the last time that a new technology came out and made it very cost effective for the beneficiary, for us? Okay, you can try that one. GMO food. I don't honestly think that don't count, because I never bought that. Mr. Jefferson, that was a good one. That was true. It ain't, you know what I'm saying, fake foods is very much more affordable. But like he said, GMO, fake foods, I go into the grocery. See, I'm a vegan, so I ain't necessarily benefiting from it because when the Bill Gates burgers started coming out, I stayed away from them. Whereas the new technology may have saved money, but it wasn't passed on to us. Exactly. When new technologies come out, it's not the benefit is not for us. We're not going to benefit from it. I look at, like you said, he said GMOs. When the GMO foods came out, I wasn't eating that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's cheaper to buy a hamburger and French fries than it is to buy a salad. I'm gonna say that again. It's cheaper to buy a hamburger and French fries than it is to buy a basic salad. It's cheaper to buy a root beer, a float. I mean, what do you call it? A soda, a large soda, than it is to buy a bottle of water. You know what I'm saying? They don't want us drinking bottles of water. They don't want us drinking. They don't want us eating healthy food, salads and stuff like that. So that's why you see now they're having the war on healthy food. Every time I turn around, somebody was just telling me the other day, TJ, you got to be careful. Watch out for the mangoes. Watch out for this. Did you see the new scare on the pineapples, on the coconuts, on this? Not the coconuts, but the new. They had a scare. Some people died because they was eating some cantaloupes. You know, it's too many people becoming vegan. Let me tell y'all how I knew something. This was finna start happening. I was in Capitol Heights, at one of my homeboys' restaurants that I be speaking at from time to time. Shout out to the Everlasting Life Restaurant, Dr. Baruch. Matter of fact, I was talking to Dr. Baruch in Capitol Heights, Maryland. Congratulations on his new location. You got a bigger location, by the way. And I was sitting there at Capitol Heights, Maryland, and we was talking prior to my lecture or after my lecture, whatever it was. And he was saying that he's replaced 99% of the drinks on his shelf in his refrigerators. He don't have no more Pepsis and Cokes and Sprites, and he don't sell none of that kind of stuff. All the drinks all the drinks he sells are supplied by people that look like me and you, and they're all a fruit drink. He only sells fruit drinks. It costs more, but it's healthier, and in good conscience, that makes him feel better. So now he don't have to replace. He don't just, because you got to give people something. You can't just say, okay, I don't sell no drinks. All I sell is water. So he sold bad stuff. But now that he got a replacement, he got rid of all the bad stuff. And I looked around the country as I traveled. I was at Tassili's looking at her refrigerator. None of that stuff in there. They have to do that, BC, because our living too long and society security doesn't have enough taxpayers to meet inflated obligations, so people need to die early. Don't nobody actually need to die early. You know what I'm saying? Because the simple fact is, you see all these people they bringing into the country. You see what I'm saying? You got to look at it like that. We got to do critical thinking, I call it. We got to really work off of critical thinking and assess the level of information that we have that we can use, because when you really get down to the point of it, how could they say it's too many people living longer when they steadily bringing people over here? Y'all hear me? How is it that too many people are living longer when they constantly bringing people over here building more houses? So they say it's too many of us living longer. I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to say that again. It's too many of us, people that look like myself, the original people, the indigenous people, the African American people, the black people, whatever you call us, the Moor people, the Hebrew people, whatever you call us, it's too many of us living longer. So they don't like that. That's why they playing with our food. Years ago, I remember I was in Leimert Park, and I used to be the president of Leimert Park. I was the president and founder of the Leimert Park Vendors Association. And I remember they tried to sneak in one. They had a meeting of where they wanted to have a meeting where they wanted to ask the local area, the local residents, are y'all okay with only bringing in GMO foods into Los Angeles, California? I'm going to say that again. They had a private meeting and TJ was not invited. They wanted to have a private meeting and told them, do not bring up TJ. Do not tell TJ. They wanted to have a private meeting in LA County, in Los Angeles, California, where they were going to ask the community, is it okay? Do y'all, because it's more affordable to have GMO foods, we want to only bring in GMO foods into our communities, into this community. And they were trying to pitch it as if it was cost effective. Now, just a simple fact, you're absolutely right, that was scary. But somebody came to me because they never wanted me to know, because they know I was shooting anything down that got to do with anything like that. Anything that got to do with gentrification, anything that had to do with hurting my people, the people who look like me, I was against it. And they knew it. And I could sniff it from a mile away. I could smell it. I could see it. And I would shoot it down in the infancy. It be in the smallest form. And I could see in 10, 20 years, this is going to be terrible. So, no, I'm shooting that down. We ain't doing that. We don't want that here. So now they had to start paying people. They tried to pay people to come into a private meeting to where they can bring in the city officials and talk to the people who they paid to come in the room, pretending to be the community. And they had them all dressed up. They had them looking like they had money. They had them in there lying, talking about they homeowners, and some of them was homeless. You know what I'm saying? Had cleaned up people, bought people clothes so that they could come in the meeting and pretend like they was very successful homeowners that lived in the community and said, yes, we'd love to have more affordable food. There's nothing wrong with the GMO quality of food. I eat it all the time. And when I found out about that, it was like, TJ knows he's coming to the meeting. They canceled it. And I ain't saying they didn't do it, but I have a feeling that they did do it because they was trying to, they would go out their way to avoid me and make sure I didn't get to come to stuff. I appreciate that, y'all, that Cash App, that gifter badge. I appreciate it. My Cash App is 310-619-3954. Again, 310-619-3954. I appreciate it. Y'all could share, y'all could like. But getting back to it, y'all. They always have and always will continue to have meetings. So when you see stuff on the news and you hear all this stuff and they talk about, oh, it's too many people in the world, they're going to reduce the population. They ain't talking about regular people. They talking about us, our people. You see what I'm saying? So keep in mind, I lived in the high end. I've always lived in high end, affluent neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And people say, well, why? That's hypocritical. Why are you living in the other neighborhoods? See, people like myself, and I'm going to say this very choosily, people like myself have to be very careful where I live because it's easy when you're in Compton. Like, for example, I love going to Compton. That's where I'm from. But people like me, when you go in Compton, every death is gang related. Y'all hear what I said? I'm going to say it again. Every time somebody gets shot or taken out, I say it's taken out. They call it, oh, that was gang related. There's no investigation needed. It was gang related. Yeah, they've been experimenting on the people for years. You know what I'm saying? They've been, as long as our people have been, as long as people been in control and controlling our finances and our freedoms and all our liberties and all of that, they've always been experimenting on our people. You know what I'm saying? Like the water, all of that. I remember, and I try to tell this story all the time. View Park, California. There is a water treatment center on top of that mountain in the middle of the wealthiest black community in America, which is called View Park, California. They are trying to highly gentrify. They working hard, but we still own a lot of those big houses up there, doing good. And they are trying to gentrify that area. But other people control the water source to that community. I'm going to say that again. It's all primarily indigenous people neighborhood that people look like me, but other people that do not look like me, that don't like us, control the water supply to them houses. Y'all heard what I just said? We don't even control our own water into the neighborhood. So an older lady friend of mine, one of my people, connected me with, she wanted to go in there and she didn't want to have a situation like what do you call it, where they had the lead in the water and they was having problems with water all over the country. So she wanted to get proactive. She got proactive and she rallied up the community and said, hey, we need to go in there and we need them to test the water and show us that our water is healthy, because we don't want to wait and to find out that, oh, our water system is too old and all of this and this, y'all been drinking poison. They wanted to be proactive and go in there and fix it right now, make sure that they ain't going to be drinking nothing poison, because they don't want to wait and in 20 years everybody dying of cancer. So she got proactive, and as she gathered up the community and said, hey, we want to come in there and do a walkthrough and we want to test the water. Man, oh man. They was like, no. Like, wait a minute. She was like, we pay you guys. Y'all work. We buy water from y'all. We are your clients. We want to come in there and inspect the facility and make sure we are drinking clean water. No. No. They go in there, they open the gate, got a lock on it, they lock the gate back when they're in there. It's like, we know y'all trying to poison us. Come on now, we're not finna play. Next thing you know, it got serious. It turned into a lawsuit because they was not trying to let black folks in there. People who lived in that neighborhood in there to check on their own drinking water. Now keep in mind, this is very wealthy people. They got billionaires up on top of that mountain. They got people that making $5 to $2 million. You know what I'm saying? 500,000 to 2, 3, 10 million, $1 billion on top of that mountain. So money was not an option. It was not a problem. It don't matter if it costs 100,000 to test the water. That was not going to be a problem. They was going to pay for everything, and they was like, no. So it got serious. They ended up in court. They fought and fought and fought, and the judge said, yes, they have a right to test their water. Yes, they have a right to come in there. Why y'all got a lock gate anyway? So they allowed them. They said, okay, cool, y'all can come in. And the next thing you know, your boy Mark Ridley Thomas shot it down. He canceled. He overrode the judge's decision. He blocked it. A brother that looked like us blocked it. Said, leave them other folks alone. See, this is why. This is why stuff be. Anyway, this is why they be trying to shadow ban me and mess with me, do all that crazy stuff, mess with my stuff, because I be keeping it real, telling y'all stuff that they don't want people to know about. But anyway, long story short, they blocked it, and to this day, they never got up in there. So that told me right there, before it got into a lawsuit, when they was literally arguing about the gate, I was the one driving forth saying, sue them, quit playing with them, sue them before they try to clean it up and fix something. Sue them. I kept saying it, sue them. Y'all need to file a lawsuit. Y'all need to file a lawsuit. And out of much respect for the elder who did that, she fought that thing. She was older, by the way, and she pushed it so hard, and she finally got in there. She finally got that approval for that judge, and she was so excited. And then when the brother came in and blocked the judge's decision, Mark Ridley Thomas, who was recently supposed to have been prosecuted, but it got overturned. How about that? You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, he blocked it. And when he blocked it, do you know that old lady was so stressed out that she passed away from stress? Because she could not believe that. She could not believe that. And I blinked my eye. They said, she passed away. Well, they said, TJ, they said, Mrs. Such and Such is she's really pissed off. She is hurting. She's mad, TJ. And then all of a sudden I called. They called me and said, she passed away. It wasn't that long after that decision that she passed away. And it was like, suspect, But anyway, my whole point is, yes, they've been playing with our food. So yes, fake foods and fake bad water. People been trying to wipe our neighborhoods out, but we still here. You know what I'm saying? Now there's a running joke going on social media by a white lady. She said, quote unquote, She know that it's something in the water making people gay. I'm just going off of what a white lady said on social media. She says she's a comedian, and she said there's something in the water that makes you gay. And then said some of the white folks, some of the people in the room said, "Hey, they're gay." Like, hey, they're gay. What are you talking about? She said, "Well, like I said, y'all need to stop drinking the water. Stop drinking that tap water." And I was on the floor laughing and crying all at the same time. Y'all heard what I said? I was laughing and crying all at the same time. Laughing because it was funny what she said, but crying because I know it's a lot of people going out backwards because they drink faucet water. I remember I was doing something. I was the president of Leimert Park Vendors, and I saw one of my vendors putting faucet water in making some type of drink that we like to drink. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, I was like, no. No, do not do that. Do not do that. She didn't know. A lot of people didn't know. So I had a meeting at the Vision Theater, and I came back and told everybody, I said, do not use faucet water to make your drinks. I'm going to say it again. Do not use faucet water to make your drinks, or we will block you from coming and selling your products in Leimert Park. And next thing you know, they got that together quick. But my whole point was, I knew way back in 2012, maybe it was, that was not a good idea. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I knew the drinking water wasn't no good. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, where was we at earlier? We was on the topic, and I said I was talking about the trades. No, okay, the whole point of this conversation was the skilled labor. No, the lack of skilled labor is the cause of high prices on everything. A lot of people saying, "Oh, it's because of the dollar is down. It's the dollar ain't worth nothing." No, that ain't got nothing to do with it. There is not enough mechanics to work on your car. So when you go to work on your car, when your car has a problem, the dealer will tell you a humongous price to fix it. I'm gonna say it again. When you have a problem, and y'all tell me if I ain't right. When you have a problem with your car and you decide to take it to the dealer, it's gonna be so expensive that you most likely will agree to go ahead and trade the car in, even though the car has low miles. Even though the car may not be that old. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, "Man, I barely even drive this car. It's not even that old. Why should it be $8,000 to do a timing chain or something?" And then eventually you say, "You know what, I'm just going to go ahead and trade it in." And they be pitching that. So now it's so bad out there that the car dealers just tell you to trade it in. Just trade it in. It's cheaper. You can get you another car. We got a discount. We got a sale going on. Just trade your car in and we'll give you peanuts for your car, and your note will be very affordable. But the goal is they don't have anybody to fix the car, so they just want you to keep trading them in. In fact, because they don't have anybody to fix the cars, they're making the cars cheaper. Y'all heard what I said? They're making the cars cheaper. This electric car stuff ain't to make things more affordable for you. The electric cars is to try to make it where people like myself, master mechanic, can't work on that car they're trying to sell. That's why I don't like electric cars, because I understand that the battery technology is not there. So if you ever need a battery, you're going to end up getting a new car. And then that's wasteful. You know what I'm saying? That's very wasteful. You know what I'm saying? So breaking it all the way down, the lack of skilled labor is the reason why everything that has to do with housing is expensive. Everything that has to do with real estate is expensive. And when you think about real estate, what am I talking about? If it's going to be expensive to build this building, then they're going to have to raise the price of the rent to rent the building out to you. Or so now if they raise the cost of rent, then that means the barber's going to have to charge a lot more money. That means I got a topic I want to talk about again. Another topic. I'm just thinking about this. I was supposed to do a live on that one. Do I wait for tomorrow, or do I bring it in right now for y'all? Okay, let me finish this topic. The lack of skilled labor if the labor is not easy to find, then the cost of rent is going to be super expensive. So that means anybody who's renting a facility to sell anything, that means the prices are going to be higher. So if you're going into your favorite beauty salon, they're going to charge more money because they're paying more money for rent because the landlord had to pay more money to buy the building, because he had to pay more money to have somebody fix it and build the building. See what I'm saying? If the rent is high, then your barber is going to have to charge you more money for a haircut. If the rent is high, then your mini market person's going to have to charge you more money for the coconut water, you know what I'm saying, or the milk, whatever y'all choose to drink. You know what I'm saying? The more expensive it costs to rent something, the more goods and services are going to cost, y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with the economy. The only thing affecting the economy is the lack of skilled labor. I'm breaking it down for y'all. I hope y'all hearing me and keeping it real. And that is purely based on the fact of them pulling the trades out of the schools. You see what I'm saying? When Du Bois and Booker T. Washington was battling it out, Booker T he knew, but Du Bois was pushing the line because he was paid. He was a paid agent of change, meaning he's coming in there with some BS to destroy our communities in an infant stage, coming in there in the infancy part, just like. Y'all know I can talk about some stuff. Y'all want me to keep it 1,000, or y'all want me to sit here and lie to y'all? I'm not finna lie to y'all. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. Just like Martin Luther King was an agent of change. He got paid to come in there and bring bad information into our community where the long-term effects were going to be damaging. And he said it himself before he was assassinated, that he realized that he led his people into a burning bush. What did he mean by that? He realized there was black businesses, there was indigenous owned businesses. They realized we had owned all our own businesses in our communities before he had his dream. After he had his dream, we didn't own anything. So what industries do you believe can't be automated by technology but can use skilled laborers to drive down costs? Painting, auto body. Like, for example, in my industry, the automotive industry and the real estate industry. The automotive industry, we paying up to $40,000 to paint a car. I came out of my industry in 2009 and I was complaining. I started my own paint shop because the cost was too high, so I decided to learn how to paint and start painting my own cars, and I bought in my own painters, which was the smartest thing I did. But my whole point, so I avoided a lot of those high costs. But when I came out, I think painting was about $5,000. Now it's up to $40,000 to paint a car. So if we trained up our youth and or even our adults and put them in those short period paint classes, they can go in and start bringing down the cost of painting. AI cannot come in there and paint a 64 Chevy, a 59 Chevy convertible. So, let me see. AI cannot come in there and figure out that how bad this car is rusted out, cut the car in pieces, determine how much of the car is rusted and which pieces is soft and need to be taken out and which pieces need to be replaced. They can't come in there and cut a 59 Chevy convertible into pieces like we be doing and replace all the pieces with rust. I mean, with new pieces, replace all the rust with new pieces and put it back together. They cannot do that kind of body work. That is a multi-billion-dollar per year industry working on old classic cars, putting in new cars. When you have a brand new car, like we started putting those cars back together because we had the knowledge and knew how to put a car together. So the dealerships, when they got into a car accident, when a new car got into a car accident, like you got a person has a brand new S-Class Mercedes and boom, they total it out. Soon as the dealership, the insurance company looks at the big car, say this is $100,000 car, they're going to total this car out because the owner 9 times out of 10 does not want this car anymore because the whole car is just bent up in pieces. But a person like me, I come in and look at it and say, okay, it's just bent from the front end on up. So the body part is straight, or we can just pull this piece back out and then we can cut off we can find another one that's wrecked from the back, and we can buy one car. See, this is what stuff I would do. We can come in there and buy a wrecked Mercedes that was hit from the front, but they salvaged it out. And then we can buy another Mercedes that was wrecked from the back. That was total. You know what I'm saying? So now I can come in and take these two cars, cut the pieces off of the one that was hit in the back, and weld them onto the one that was hit in the front, and make a brand new Mercedes. Now, you'll never know it because I know my stuff. So we started doing stuff like that. And the next thing you know, a lot of other people started doing that stuff. That's why they would sell it. Let me keep it 1,000 with y'all. There was a shop in LA called, there was a car dealer in LA called, oh, I can't even think of the name. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But there was a particular shop in LA that was doing that and selling everybody the salvaged Benzes, BMWs, stuff like that. Dang it, I cannot think of. There was in Sun Valley. And everybody and their mama, you was seeing these guys roll around with these big old Benzes, big old brand new BMWs, brand new Mercedes, and brand new Range Rovers and stuff. And y'all was like, wow, they got money. Nope, they going in there. All them cars is salvage. They was all salvaged out because the insurance companies. Anyways, going back to your point, auto body cannot be replaced by AI. Auto painting cannot be replaced by AI on classic cars and some newer cars. Construction in a whole, custom building homes cannot be replaced by AI. I know you're thinking, oh, that's not true. I saw some AI robots, 3D printing machines printing out some houses, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell y'all how that works. If you got a mountainside hanging over the side of a cliff, if you have a mountainside, a rough terrain piece of land, you can't count on AI to come in there and figure out how deep those rocks are, how to dig up and trench out that lot and smooth it all out, and cut down all these trees so that you can come lay a solid foundation to build a house. It ain't gonna happen. And if it does happen, capitalism is not gonna let you get that cheap. They are not gonna cut the cost of houses down. I'm gonna say that again. Capitalism is not going to allow the cost of construction to go down because of some new technology that came out. You're not going to, like the person just said on here, you're not going to save the money. They're going to save the money and they're going to win. So instead of them charging, they're going to charge you matter of fact, when that AI come out and they had the machines that make houses, they not going to beat the price. They not going to come in here and, oh man, they charging $200 per square foot to build a house. We can do it with our machine for $150. That ain't how that work. They like, no, we're going to pitch this as a better quality. We're going to market this and say, oh, the skilled labor, they're drunks. They're illegal immigrants. They'll be on drugs and stuff. You don't want them building your house. That's why the roofs be leaking. That's why the floors be cracking. They make up all kind of stuff. Whenever a new technology comes out, in order to launch it so that they can pitch it to be better than the old technology, they're going to assassinate the character of the old technology, of the people the skilled labor. So, for example, they gonna come in and say, oh, those guys are all alcoholics and drugs and illegal immigrants. So you don't want them. You don't want nobody paying no $200 to build, no $200 per square foot to build a house. Them guys is all drunks and alcoholics. That's why it's so cheap, because they're drunks and alcoholics, and it takes 6-7 months to build your house. But with this new robot AI system that's going to build your house, it's only $300 a square foot, but you ain't never going to have to worry about your house. It's going to be a warranty on it, blah, 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 blah. And you're going to be like, wow, that makes sense because those guys are all drunks and alcoholics. I never knew that. Like, what the hell? Like, what? You guys just got bamboozled. You got to recognize and say, no, we've never had problems like that. But you know what they will do? The people who's going to bring in the new technology, they probably already taking control of the housing market. So you got like BlackRock and Vanguard, all those trillion-dollar corporations. They'll come in and buy up all the developers, and they'll tell the developers to half-ass make those houses, making sure the roof leaks, make sure the floors crack, blah, 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 and then they will turn around. They will turn around and create a class action lawsuit. Y'all heard what I just said? The people that owns the company will turn around and create a class action lawsuit and sue themselves. I'm going to say that again. The owners of the corporations that own the construction industry, that low-key owns the new AI technology of housing, they will turn around and low-key, you don't know if they own by the same people, but they will turn around and file a lawsuit against themselves and say, hey, they're going to create another company that's going to file a lawsuit against themselves after they done told them to build the houses poorly. Make sure the roofs are going to leak. Make sure the foundations are going to crack. Make sure the houses are going to sink. Make sure the plumbing is going to leak. You know what I'm saying? So they will turn around first, send you letters, and then they'll file a class action lawsuit against themselves and say, oh, it's going to be $1 billion lawsuit against the housing industry because the last 4 million houses that were built were rushed and built by a bunch of drunks and drug addicts and illegal immigrants. And the next thing you know, you're going to have in your mind, I'm never going to buy one of them houses. And then, boom, here comes the new technology as the savior. Oh, these are $300 a square foot. And you're going to be like, yeah, I want one of them because they come with a warranty and the robots is building those. It's all game, y'all. It's all game and strategies, y'all. It's strategies used against y'all. So what they do is, now they got you paying $300 a square foot for a house, and you don't want nobody building. Now, when I'm coming to you saying, hey, I don't drink or smoke, I'm a vegan. I'm a plant-based eater. I'm an alkaline food eater. I ain't never had alcohol, meat. I'll be at my office on time, and we've been building houses for $200 a square foot for decades. People be like, nah, I'm going with them AI houses. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? I done been in business since 1990 something legally with a business license, but I done been a business street guy for longer. You see what I'm saying? So I know how hustle works. I know a hustle when I see it. This is why I teach these classes. This is why I got classes on my website, tjlofton.com, of teach. Matter of fact, y'all might want to consider taking that because it's only like $125. It's a 6-hour course breaking down this kind of stuff of what I'm talking about. I always forget to tell y'all may want to consider taking that course because it breaks this type of stuff down of how people's being bamboozled and things that people need to know to pivot and move forward in this economy. You know what I'm saying? We put 2023 because it came out in the third quarter, the fourth quarter of 23, but I should have put 24 on it. So don't let the 23 fool you. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, y'all would do very well if y'all take that class, that course. It's some real great information on there that people need to know. But we got to remember, y'all heard me say it here. Do not fall for the okie doke. So getting back to the list of things that are not going to be replaced. Most of this stuff that they're telling y'all, they're going to use AI to replace jobs. It's all about jobs and eliminating labor, people. They want to bring in the robots, people who can't take off, people who can work 24 hours a day, robots that can work 24 hours a day and don't need medical insurance. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. This technology, you just going to be paying for stuff that's going to help. I mean, hurt the economy, going to get rid of people. You know what I'm saying? So what is my point? What else can't be replaced? Auto mechanics can't be replaced. People, I remember somebody say, oh man, cars tell you what's wrong with the cars itself. You don't need to be no mechanic no more. I said, that's some BS. The technology is all, these cars are being built to break. These cars are being built to go out and break, period. Capitalism will not build a superior car that's gonna last you forever. Trust and believe that. In the machine, I didn't have brand new. I didn't have newer Mercedes. I ain't gonna lie and say brand new because I don't do brand new. I didn't have newer Mercedes that tell you everything wrong with the car. Hey, my left front tire need a little air. Hey, this is going out. Blah blah blah. Until all of a sudden, the computer itself started going out, but it didn't tell me that. One thing, something happened, and it told the computer was telling the mechanic that hey, it's this, but it was not that. Because what happens with the technology is the technology is not flawless. The technology is just like human. Humans will know that, hey, no, I'm sorry, humans will be better because the human will figure out, oh, this right here, the computer is telling us this. But what happens is if this gets exposed to water, it will make this other component in the engine go out. And the computer is going to tell you it's the other component, but it's really this over here that has nothing to do with that over there. It just affects this. The air has to pass the mass flow regulator or mass flow meter or whatever. The air passes through here. So if this comes loose, by the time it get over there to that mechanism, it's getting a lack of air. So it tells you that's going out. Something's wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that. So now you're going to pay $1,200 to replace the part that nothing's wrong with because of this piece over here. It has a hole in it, and it's like a $12 fix. So the mechanic will just start fixing stuff, listening to the computer. But human knowledge tells you, no, I've worked on about 12 of these, and it's never that. It's always this. It's never that, it's always this. The computer says it's that, but it's not that, so you don't have to give me the $1,200. It's going to be this over here. That part's $25. But the mechanic shop will still charge you the $1,200 because they ain't going to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say we need to put our children into the trade. See, that's the biggest thing. The computer will lie to you and tell you that you need this, but your son or daughter ain't going to lie to you. They're going to be like, Mama, that's not what's wrong with it. Daddy, that's not what's wrong with it. It's this. If you go anywhere else, they're going to lie to you. So that's one thing. So anyway, mechanics are not going to be replaced. Auto body guys are not going to be replaced. Lowrider shop guys are not going to be replaced. Painters are not going to be, Painters, carpentry people will not be replaced. Do you think the federal government will find some kind of way to tax various businesses on their technological capacity with short human staffing to supplement Social Security? Yeah, they're going to pass all kind of laws. See, that's another thing they'll do. They'll pass laws and say, oh, it's too dangerous for people to work on houses. It's too dangerous for people to work on cars. You know what I'm saying? We want to bring in, because of the high cost of insurance of humans that work on cars. Been working on cars for 1,000 years. Now it's too expensive. The insurance is going to be too high because it's too dangerous to work on cars. They'll pass laws and say, no, you can't work on cars anymore because the insurance is too expensive. No, you can't work on houses because the insurance is going to be too expensive. They do stuff like that to make sure that their new technology is going to be very lucrative for them. So what do I tell people to do? I really have a strong problem with all these people that every time something new comes out, they start pitching it to our community as the save all. I'm going to say that again. I have a serious problem with all of these people in our community that look like us, look like me, and then will quickly, as soon as some new technology comes out, they will quickly be in there pitching it to us in large numbers, saying we all need to roll with the AI. We all need to roll with this Bitcoin. We all need to roll with this blah, blah, blah. Du Bois. We all need to roll with this higher education. Now we go all these years later, and all these people that look like our community are failing in large numbers. They are so badly damaged that they're asking for bailouts of the president. It is so many graduates from college that cannot afford to buy a house, that cannot afford to rent an apartment, that college skill people named doctor that are homeless. I'm going to say that again. We got people that are named doctor that graduated from some of these best colleges that are homeless because they are not prepared to deal with the high cost of living. They can't afford because their income does not match. Y'all don't mind me. I had to plug in my plug on my tablet, so hopefully it don't do nothing crazy. Let me see here. Y'all know me. I got a self-made tablet stand over here. I'm still in California, if y'all don't know. I'm still in California, so if y'all want to book me for Kwanzaa to come out and speak, hopefully it don't fall or slip down. Okay, let me pull that closer. In case it decides to do something weird. I'm still in town. If y'all want to book me to speak at your next event, Kwanzaa's coming up. I'm still in California. If y'all want to book me to speak at your Black History Month, they call it, whichever, anything that's coming up, if y'all want to book me to speak, I am still in California, but I fly all around the world. So if y'all want to book me, reach out to me, check my calendar. If you like, I'll send you my EPK. But I am available. We'll just check the calendar, figure out what days your event is, and how feasible will it be for me to get there. We'll work some things out. It sure is give my 64 Impala. Miss Tay, what's going on with you? TJ, I'm going to put together something for Denver. They need you. I appreciate that. And people don't think it is. What is that? That's facts. True that. Rather have a human working on my home. That part. It's like racism. Miss Tay, did you want to get on my live? Did you hit that button, or is that the computer doing that? Because I'm still trying to figure this TikTok thing out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, me and TikTok, we ain't necessarily figured this whole thing out. Oh, that's the computer doing that? Okay, cool. Because, yeah, I ain't figured out this TikTok thing that well. I'm still trying to get used to this social media. Matter of fact, my brother over here, Mr. Royo, put me up on some social media classes one day. He like, man, this brother need to learn this social media. He was like, you need to learn, go live more. So he sat down, took his time out to teach me some social media classes on the side of the road, y'all. I appreciate that. Instead of people complaining about it, they step up and say, let me show this brother how to get down with this particular thing. So that's where I came from. Take the time out and teach the next. Teach the people who really need it, So I appreciate that, Mr. Royal. Yeah, you are so great at what you do. I appreciate that. I'm going to come on through. Appreciate that. Hairstylists, Miss Tay. We ain't got to worry about AI doing our hair. In fact, I do see a whole lot of Asian community learning how to do black hair. I say that again. I see a lot of Asian community learning how to do black people, indigenous people, whatever y'all want to call it, hair. Miss Tay say you right. You know what I'm saying? But me, myself, I ain't going into no barbershop that's ran by somebody that don't look like me, because that's going to mess up the barbershop experience. When I go into the barbershop, I love when I go into the barbershop, y'all, even though I cut my hair, it'd be a lot of great experiences and it'd be some interesting experiences. When I go into the barbershop, people be like, you TJ Lofton, man, I be following you and you need to know about this. And my wife work at the school and matter of fact, let me get her on the phone with you and she gonna book you to have you there, man. I'm glad you're here. And how much do you charge? I've been always wanting to bring. Now I met you. I like you, man. We gonna put up the money. They be like, we're gonna pay the money to get you to come to the school and speak or something like that. Or, I've had people, sisters say, can you look at my car because they told me this, and I walk out the barbershop, pop the sister's hood and look at the hood, under the hood, be like, nah, it's that. Call my homeboy right here, and I'm gonna tell him you coming. Tell him I said, TJ said, or I'll call him right there. I've had one person, I called him and called a tow truck while I was sitting in the barber chair. I said, hey man, one of my people's cars broke. Send the tow truck and come get it, and I need y'all to fix it. They was on the way before I even got out the chair. A truck was pulling up ready to connect. And they looking at me like, man, homie, you about that life. I was like, hey, we got to look out for our sisters. We don't want her going to the wrong shop. And I said, call me when it's ready. He said, you really getting involved, huh? I said, we just got to keep everything 1,000. So if a robot took control of the haircuts, I'm going to lose all that opportunity to mix and mingle with my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sit in somebody's chair with a person I can't even communicate with. Now, that ain't going to happen. See, I see my sisters be sitting in them chairs with somebody doing their feet with people they can't communicate with. And I didn't also see them people throwing them out, too. I didn't see them getting cussed out. I didn't see sisters going to jail around dealing with people who they can't communicate with. So I said to myself, that will never be me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I cut my own hair. Like right now, I'm not in the area where I can get my hair cut by some people that look like me. So I got my little portable hair cutter thing, and I'm cutting my hair. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm getting ready to go speak, you'll see me sitting I'll be back in that place, and I'll be letting somebody cut my hair professionally. When I'm going to certain states, my people will come to the hotel and cut my hair. You know what I'm saying? I didn't got my hair cut at the venue before. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is, I'm a strong believer in keeping the money in the community. So I'm not going to pay to have somebody replace my brother. Y'all should know that about me, because I'm about that life, about keeping that dollar in the community. So it don't matter if AI come out or not. I'm going to use somebody in my community to do some business with. Just like Miss Tay. When I'm in Atlanta and I know somebody need their hair, all I know, my sister, Miss Tay, she got you. Y'all check my sister out. Tay gonna take care of you. She got you on that. Do you know anybody else? No, Tay the best. That don't fuck with nobody else, because that's my sister. She handles her business. When we in LA, I got my other little sister, Don. She got that. She does the hair in LA. You know what I'm saying? So forth and so on. When I'm in the barbershop in Maryland, I'm going to this brother. When I'm in Texas, I'm at that brother. When I'm in LA, I'm at this brother. When I'm in Lancaster, I'm at that brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to keep money in the community, because I look at how many people would tow their car all the way to me. I'm looking at how many people will call me and ask me for my help. Do I know somebody that can do something? And then I will be able to refer them another business of somebody that look just like us. So that is how we keep money in our community. So I'm not going to let AI replace my people, because I don't want AI replacing me. Very true. Barbershops are different experiences for black men. These inflated prices are very different too. Well, you got to look at it like this. The barbershop owner is not the person that's trying to raise the prices. The barbershop owner he had to raise the prices because his rent went up. I'm going to say that again. The person that owns the barbershop, the person that owns the restaurant or whatever it is, if they're renting, they're going to be subject to paying higher rent. And if they got to pay higher rent, then you're going to have to pay higher price for a haircut. You're going to have to pay higher prices for a Twinkie, or what's them things that people love to buy, them little cupcakes. You're going to have to pay higher prices for cupcakes for your daughter's graduation. You're going to have to pay higher prices for that party, that jumper, because the facility where they keep the jumper at costs more money, and the gas prices to get there cost more money. So don't just look at us and say, oh, well, indigenous people, black people, too expensive. They charge too much. No, we don't. The rent is so expensive. That's why. Don't let them fool you with that crap. And then on a whole nother note, you compare, people try to compare our prices to Burger King's or McDonald's or Walmart prices. Well, wait a minute. If I own a store and I got to sell some coconut water for $5, but when you go to Walmart, it's $3. That ain't you can't compare me to Walmart because I'm sitting over here with my one store. I might even have two stores where I'm buying 500 bottles of coconut water a month. Walmart buying 5 million a week. So Walmart's gonna always have a better product price than me because Walmart is straight out got more stores, more locations than the small mom and pop store in the community. So no, I'm gonna pay Miss Tay's higher price for her to do my wife's hair, for example, my daughter's hair, or whatever, and I'm gonna pay the barbershop higher prices because I understand the value of that. Now, how about this? Let me tell y'all why AI. Man, I should have entitled this "AI Ain't Cool Because." That should have been the name of this presentation. AI ain't cool because you know what I'm saying. Corporations pay wholesale. We don't. Yeah, corporations get things wholesale. We definitely don't. And then corporations will sell stuff cheaper because they poisoning you. Corporations will sell stuff cheaper because they are poisoning you. It is priced so you will come and buy it from them so that they can poison you. You getting a better price on it because it's poison in it. You see what I'm saying, y'all? It's some stuff that's making you change your sexual preferences in it. You know what I'm saying? You born a person, you born a man, but all of a sudden you overwhelmed and want to date a man. You born a woman, but all of a sudden you overwhelmed and want to date a woman. Or you born a man, all of a sudden you take interest in dogs. That's something in your food, something in your water. You know what I'm saying? That has been coming facts. That's been proven. So you got to think about that. So I'm not looking for better prices. I'm going to go to my brother or my sister and get my products from them because I know Miss Tay, for example, she got my best interest. That's my sister, and she knows she is a serious part of the community, and she know we see her every day, and she's been invited over to do my daughter's hair, my children's hair, my wife's hair, for example. I know she's gonna tell me, no, this is not a good product. Don't put that in her hair. I don't want her to use that because this stuff is no good. I'm trusting that Miss Tay is going to keep me abreast on what's going on. Going to keep us abreast of what's going on. Just like I'm trusting that my barber is going to keep me abreast of what's going on. Just like my person at the health food store keeps me abreast of what's going on with the food. So when I go to the health food store and I be like, what happened to that? Why you ain't got my favorite such and such? TJ don't drink that no more because we found out Bill Gates just bought it and he changed the recipe. I'd be like, damn, good looking out though. What are we drinking now? What else you got? What do you recommend? This is cool right here. I know this guy. He's solid. He said he ain't going to sell out, but blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, that's my new favorite one right there because I know you the expert and you got my best interest. You ain't trying to poison your customers, so we're going to make sure we deal with you. So I will not be supporting AI. You know what I'm saying? I will not. I'm going to say it again. I will not be supporting all AI. Some AI may be cool, some AI may help, but I will not be supporting AI from the 100% category. I'm not doing all this digital cash. You know what I'm saying? I'm not messing with all that type of stuff. In fact, I'm going to just keep it 1,000, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sacrifices and they messing with my income. I'm going to keep it 1,000. Every time I turn around, shit going wrong with my technology. You know what I'm saying? My money been real strange because I'm like, what's up with my website? Why I ain't making all that money no more? What's going on with this? What's happening with that? Every time I go back and check my social media, they deleting all my posts. You know what I'm saying? Or why is this post got no looks at it? No views on it, and it's been up for 3 days, and not one person looked at it, but everyone around it got 300, 500 views. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want me to post that. So it's stuff like that happening. So I do not like dealing with this new technology. You know what I'm saying? So what is my solution to that? I'm not just here to complain. What is my solution to that? Me personally, I would appreciate y'all if y'all start back taking cash and start back using cash. So if you ever catch me at any show selling anything, I would prefer y'all to pay me in cash. Y'all heard what I said? If you ever see me at anywhere at a show with anything for sale, I prefer you to pay me by cash because it's too much stuff happening in society with the banking system where they're making it extremely difficult to do business. You put money in the bank, but you can't go get your money from the bank. There's too many people that's making deposits and all of a sudden the money ain't there. There's too many people that's got large amounts of money and they try to go in there and get some cash out and they won't give it to them. So me and the banks ain't too good of friends, y'all. I'm just going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. I would prefer for y'all to pay people by cash. So whenever you go to and this is my opinion, whenever you go to an event and deal with vendors, if y'all can just take cash with y'all, because some of them vendors are going to prefer cash. You know what I'm saying? They may say, that's why I always tell people I take cash, I take Cash App, I take Zelle. You see what I'm saying? And if you take credit card, that is the very last thing that I will take. I don't want the cash. I don't want the credit card. But if that's all you got, I'm forced to deal with it and just know they're going to take a percentage out of that money and they're going to know exactly how much money I made and spent and what I used it for. And I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. When I was going through some stuff and they tried to set me up back in the... No, they set me up and said I stole one of my customers' cars back in the days. It was all bad, y'all. It was all bad. They had booked the bank. They had booked one of my banks. They had subpoenaed one of my banks to come and testify against me. My own bank testified against me on the witness stand saying TJ did this, and I had a what word am I looking for? I had a overdraft on my account. And they turned around, the prosecutors straight said, this is why TJ stole that boy's car, because he was overdrafted on his bank account for a whole 2 days, which I never knew. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they said, that's why he stole that boy's car, which they never could prove I stole the car, by the way. And it's like, when you're a car builder, they're going to always say you stole the car or you stole something. When you work with kids, they're going to always say you did something to the kids. It's always going to be something like that to take good people out. So they said I stole somebody's car, but they could not prove I stole the car because I had too many receipts and canceled checks from the car owner. So how did they say I stole the car? Don't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially when his attorney said that TJ overcharged the guy. So I was the only black man in history, person that looked like myself, that was charged, that had a civil case, but was charged criminally in a criminal courtroom for a civil matter. Does that make sense to y'all? I'm going to say it again. I was probably I don't know about the only, but I was straight out charged for a civil matter from somebody who said they're going to sue me. They said they were going to sue me because I overcharged them for a car that's only worth X amount of dollars. Okay, I'm going to break it down for y'all, for those of y'all who don't know. If you look me up, they say I was charged, I went to jail for stealing a car, it says, or stealing money from a person. But if you look the case up, it's a civil matter. So I was charged for a civil matter in a criminal court. I was charged for a civil matter where someone said, I'm going to sue you for overcharging me. Supposedly, I'm waiting to be sued, but I was arrested instead and charged in a criminal court and told to give the money back. And as a part of that, they brought in all the extras. So let me tell you what happened. Let me go back and think about this. Where was I coming from? What was my point of bringing this up? So anyway, it's just the way they do business, the way they do things. It tripped me out when my bank came in there. So my bank came in there and testified that, yes, TJ was overdrafted on his account for like $1,100 for like 2 days. And then I turned around and told my attorney, I said, okay, ask the bank person How much money did I deposit in my bank account in January? 30,000. How much did I deposit in my account in February? 52,000. How much did I deposit in March? 17,900. How much money did I deposit in April? 60,000. How much did blah, so forth and so on. And it was like, okay, well, you guys, did you guys not pay for the overdraft? Did you not cover TJ? I see you charged him $15 for an overdraft fee. And they said, yes, we do that. He said, why would you cover him for the $1,200, whatever it was? They said, because Mr. Lofton deposits a large amount of money into the banking system, into his bank account. And this is normal that he has a large amount of money coming in and he has large amounts of money going out. It's not intentional. That's why those overdraft fees are put in place. There are small business loans. If you're going to use this money for a day or a couple of hours because you didn't realize you were overdrafted because you got an expense that you didn't know, then we got you. Just give us $15 to $20, $35, whatever it was, whatever it is. So fast forward the story. Going back. So now they looking like, oh, that makes sense. And everybody in the courtroom, all the witnesses, they were sitting there like, yeah, that's true. That happened to me all the time. But the cop didn't know that when he arrested me that I was overdrafted. He didn't know what my account looked like because when I didn't know what my account looked like because if you look at it, it just say $5,000 deposit, $6,000 deposit, $12,000 deposit, $30,000 deposit by the day. By the day, it was this X amount of money being deposited. So my whole point is to have them read all my banking information out while I'm sitting in court and all these strangers is sitting there listening to my banking world, my life, and TJ owns this and TJ owns that, and TJ's address over here is this, and TJ address over there is that. I was like, that right there was that. I said that ain't gonna happen again. I'm not cool with that. So that's why I said all this technology, it is not healthy. It's not good for us. But what was I thinking about? Since I brought y'all into a little bit of my personal life, which I was waiting for the movie to come out so y'all could see it. TJ was I was charged for a civil matter in a criminal court. I say it again. I was charged and convicted for a civil matter in a criminal court. What happened? Y'all want to know what happened? I was building the guy's car. I told the guy $100,000 to build that car. He said he don't have the $100,000 up front. Can we do piecework? Absolutely, that is normal. So we're going to do this part of the car first. We're going to do that part of the car second. Now, keep in mind, we talking 3 months apart because it could take up to 2 to 3 years to build a car. So the first job was $17,000. The second job was going to be $30,000, something like that. So the first job was complete. I'd been paid the whole $17,000. But at the time, the housing market crashed. So the housing market had crashed. So all of a sudden I had customers calling me saying, TJ, I know I owe you another $30,000, but they're about to lose their house and their wife is going to kill them if they finish that car. So can we settle up? Can I pay you for what I owe you for the things you've done? Absolutely. Come pick up your car and you owe me $500 or I'll owe you $1,200 back. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a deposit on that, but I ain't got that yet. So I'll get that bread back. So that's how that went down. So that was becoming the normal when the housing market was crashing. Half my customers were working class people. The rest of them were high-end customers. They were not affected. But anyway, my whole point was, all of a sudden, I started looking at people selling cars for dirt cheap. So they were trying to save their houses, so people started liquidating. So you had this guy had the same kind of car that I was working on that I had quoted the guy $100,000 was on the social media for $25,000. Just like I was getting ready to build it, just different color, whatever. It was people was dumping their classic cars that could not afford them, trying to save their houses. You see what I'm saying? So now this guy comes into my office and he bought me $4,500, which was the closeout on the 17.5 he owed me. And then, boom, I ordered a few more parts, and the rest of the parts I was getting ready to order. And 2 days later, his attorney calls me and says, "You screwed over my customer. You overcharged him. You know that car is only worth $25,000. How you gonna charge him $100,000?" I said, "Dude, I got $25,000 worth of parts, worth of receipts. So you need to go file a lawsuit against the manufacturers who sold me them parts. They didn't adjust their prices. Just because people start dumping their cars don't mean the prices are gonna change. That ain't how that works." So dude was like, nah, you knew and you're taking advantage of him. And I said, "Well, I would love for you to go explain. I'm gonna sue you." I said, "I would love for you to explain that to the judge. I would love to see you explain that to the judge. I'll be at my office on this day at this time. Make sure you let me know that I can be there to accept it, because I'm going to sue the shit out of you. I'm going to counter sue your ass for wasting my time and having me have to go call my attorney. And I'm going to get paid too. I'm going to get paid in a major way. So let's go." So, of course, when people got relationships with police officers, they was able to come in there and arrest me instead. So that's how that went down. But anyway, yeah, I ended up going to jail for 9 months behind that, because I didn't think that I would go to jail. I tried to fight it myself. Like, oh, I don't need no attorney. It's a civil matter. I did not know who was behind it as the puppet master, y'all. So I let one get slipped through the cracks on me, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, long story short, I don't like AI. I don't like how they do business. I think that needed to happen to me because it opened my eyes to a lot of things that was going on. When I saw them subpoena the banking system and have them come out to my shop, I saw them subpoena the banking system and have my own bank come and testify against me, talking about my money, and ask them questions to make it seem weaponized against me. Luckily, I was able to counteract and ask other questions, but to ask those questions back, it threw me under the bus, because now people are like, this nigga's a millionaire. This nigga putting $1 million a year in the bank account, in his banking system. He running $1 million through his bank. You know what I'm saying? He must be a millionaire. Damn, I didn't know he had it like that. And I didn't like that. I did not like that, because if you ask me back in the days, I wasn't in nobody's pictures. I wasn't doing no such thing as a Facebook Live or social media. You know what I'm saying? None of that type of stuff, because I did not want people to know who I was, what I had, what I was doing, or what I owned. But that opened up the can of worms to all of that. So it was more of an exposure situation than it was of a criminal situation. You know, I didn't mind going to jail, wasn't a big deal, but people knowing my personal finances, that was a big problem for me, because people thought I was just a regular dude. There was rumors that TJ don't own that business. That ain't TJ. He just works there. There's somebody with big money behind him. And I was cool with that. I like that, because that took the radar off of me. If people thought somebody else owned it, I didn't have no problem with it. That way, those are the people go, let somebody else get kidnapped, not me. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else have some problem, not me. I don't own anything, if that's the case. You know, so fast forward the story. That's why I didn't have a problem with that. But I had a serious problem when all of a sudden they was throwing it all out in the courtroom. But I didn't took this statement into this whole conversation into a whole left. But I sat back and watched them, how they moved around with that technology and how they used it against me. You know what I'm saying? How they can tell people, if I was an alcoholic, they would have had the grocery store in there saying, yeah, TJ buys bottles of Hennessy, 10 bottles of Hennessy a week. You know what I'm saying? If I was on drugs and I smoked marijuana, they'd be like, TJ says here, TJ stays in the medical dispensary buying medical marijuana. Maybe that's how that particular situation happened. We have the rights of looking at his banking receipts. And I hate putting myself as an example, so we're going to use somebody else. So they can take a person. I hate when people say you. I like when people say them. Or I like when people say it the correct way, the way we should say it, and say a person. If a person goes to court for a car accident, the system can be used against them. Social media can be used against them, and comes to court and says the banking system shows that they have his grocery bill, and it shows that he buys a lot of Hennessy and E&J and 40 ounces, all that crazy stuff people drink, and he buys a lot of it. So we have reason to believe and can almost guarantee you that he bought a fifth of Hennessy on the night of the night in question. So we think he was drunk. Even though he cleared the test with the police officer, he was still drunk. Because it shows that he bought a fifth of E&J that night. You know what I'm saying? And they use that against people. So I'm like, no, they can say, yeah, we think he did rob the place because it shows here he spent a lot of money at the medical marijuana dispensary. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that that people don't realize it works against them. Live age restricted. Your live contains things not suitable for younger audiences. Oh, live age restricted. I'm going to have to copy this, y'all. I ain't never seen that. See, when I start dropping game and start talking about stuff, they put an age restriction on my social media, y'all, on my live. I have never seen that. But when it come down to me, you can always expect something weird to happen on social media. They like, he got 2,500 likes. Can y'all keep the likes coming? Can the brother get a donation? I'm on here getting restricted and age restricted and all that crazy stuff. But I don't care for it. Let me tell you how society works. People will want to pass the law. They will want to do terrible things to our communities. So they will put stuff out there that has a 10-year plan on it. It's going to take 10 years for this to take effect. So they want as many of our people to use this as possible. So they will immediately have a whole bunch of people that look like us pitching it to y'all. Saying, oh, this is the greatest thing. This is the greatest thing. Y'all need to do it. It's all across social media. I will see people are always sending me videos of other people selling something. And it's from Bitcoin to Forex to NFTs, gold, everything. Buy silver. They are always pitching something to sell to our communities that ain't got nothing to do with anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can make some money off of it, but you ain't going to make no real money. You know what I'm saying? It depends on you. You don't know. Most people don't know what real money is. You know what I'm saying? So owning real estate is real money. Owning real estate, I don't care if you got $1 million in your bank, it ain't going to grow. You got $1 million in your bank, it ain't going to grow like real estate's been growing. So, and if it has, you in one of those areas. But real estate has some places where it's growing in America by leaps and bounds. It's going to a situation where it's very difficult to afford real estate for most people. So they are planning people in our community to come in here and sell us things. Now, I know y'all, some of y'all get mad. Some of these people y'all following, these are y'all family members, these are y'all best friends, these are some of y'all loved ones. Y'all love these guys. Y'all been following them forever. They done gave y'all such great information that changed y'all life. Yeah, you absolutely right. But let me tell you how agents of change work. They're going to say some amazing things just to get in the room and get your attention. But once they get your attention, then comes the toxic waste information that's designed to destroy. Once they get in the room with the good information, then comes the bad information because now they've got you. You've trusted them. They talked all this great information. They've got you through the pandemic, for example. They've got you through that. And now you're so excited because they looked out for you, saved your life or whatever. Then all of a sudden, here comes the okie doke. Switch to change the narrative. Now here they come with this toxic waste information that's designed to destroy the community with its long-term effects. That part. So for me, as a public speaker, it'd be kind of very interesting for me when I'm talking to people because it seems like I'm always the one that has to say something. They be like, TJ, why you don't never do this? And why you don't never work with them? Or why don't you help these people? Why don't you go with those people? Why ain't you never did a live with that person and them people? And I'd be like, we have difference of opinions, you know, and it's kind of hard for me to get on the live with. They don't want to get on the live with me because I can sit there and say something to dismantle their whole structure of the things that they choose to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes bad. So that's why a lot of them don't want to do a live with me because they know it's not going to go well for them. So they don't want to do a live. They don't want me on the panel. Certain people don't want me on the panel. But luckily, that's been changing because my name has withstood the test of time. Y'all didn't look up 10 years ago and see me selling Bitcoins. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't see me selling gold and silver. You know what I'm saying? I have always been primarily real estate, 100% real estate and classic cars. That's all I talk about. You know what I'm saying? I said something about some stocks one time because I saw the real estate prices was about to boom and I knew something crazy was happening. I said that would be a good stock to buy. But I ain't never pitched that. I never sit there and went out of my way to talk about no stocks because I don't fuck with stocks like that at all. You know, because I know the real estate is where the money. I'm all about keeping the money in the community. So the original topic was skilled labor, y'all. That's how we got started. I know I just been all over the board, y'all. But skilled labor is all about skilled labor, and that's why the prices of everything is becoming so expensive. People are lying to you, telling y'all that things are so expensive because of the dollar is down. It ain't got nothing to do with the dollar. If we can get skilled labor back, if we flood the market with a lot of people with the trades, people that can build houses, people that can work on cars, the cost of everything will go down. If we flood the market with people who can build houses, the cost of houses would go down. I'm gonna get that's the black print right there. If we flood the market and have black builders building houses for us, the cost of houses will go down in this economy. Or they would pass laws that say, oh, well, you got to have a 4-year degree to build houses. Which they ain't never had that. That's why they funneled and put all these people that don't look like me into those communities. They have them go and get the trades. You know what I'm saying? So that makes you think that's a middle wage. Somebody said something about a middle wage income. We don't teach that because that's a middle wage income. What the hell is a middle wage? That's more than a minimum wage. Minimum wage pay $15 in some states now. So what would a middle wage pay? 25? You know what I'm saying? What does what's above a middle wage? You know what I'm saying? How much does a middle wage pay? That's where I could have got the guy. When the guy said that crap, talking about that's a middle wage income, I should have asked him how much is a middle wage income? Because there's a whole lot of people that ain't got a job, period, that's looking for work, that don't want to work at McDonald's. So a middle wage might be right up their alley. So maybe y'all should teach a middle wage careers, you know. But anyway, y'all can go on and on and on. But anyway, my whole point is the cost of everything is expensive, not based on the economy's bad, not based on the dollar is down. It ain't got nothing to do with the BRICS. It ain't got nothing to do with any of that. If we can turn this economy around by flooding the schools with young people who have the trades and have those children get out of school with those trades and start businesses doing drywall, working on cars, building houses, restoring classic cars, or building brand new cars from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Should you got money, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. You got some of these parents that's dropping $200,000 on the kids' education. I was sitting right there with I go to the Black College Expo all the time. I'm one of their regular speakers. They let me go in there and be me and talk about what I want to talk about. And I see parents over there with checks in hand ready to drop and pay for 4 years right up front just to get it out the way because they've been saving their whole life. You know what I'm saying? This kid was, when the mama was pregnant and with the baby, the grandparents dropped $30,000. This is for college. Here go $50,000. I'm finna sell this house and we're gonna put that money away for college. And them parents is breaking bread. I sat there and watched it with my own eyes. I was like, damn. Trying not to cuss, but I said, damn. They over there making money. I need to open up some schools. That's where your TJ Wealth Academy came from. That's how I started doing classes. I'm like, shit, if they gonna pay that kind of money to get a job, pay me a quarter of that to teach you how to get a business get a successful business. If you pay me $200,000, I will guarantee you're gonna become a millionaire. I will put it in writing. I will give your money back. You know what I'm saying? If I can't make you a millionaire, I will give you your money back. Why is that? Because it's too easy to make you a millionaire when you got that kind of money. I started a very successful business on $500 and made millions of dollars a year on $500. Yes, so if you're going to come to me and say, TJ, can you make my son, my daughter a millionaire, her husband a millionaire? Absolutely. Give me 100,000 and I'm going to teach you everything I know. And I'm not going to just teach you everything I know. I'm going to take you and introduce you to all my connections, all my resources. It's not going to be some online class. It's going to be a traveling class. Okay, I'm going to be at the such and such car show on the 5th. Okay, on the 6th, we going over here to a construction project and we building a house over there. Okay, over here, we coming in, we putting some cars on the ship, shipping them to Japan or something like that. Oh, you're going to be with me and I'm going to show you some things. I'm going to introduce you to everybody I know, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to be right there when you make your first 100,000. I'm going to be right there when you make that million. So I'm going to be like, you're successful now. I got you here. And this is how you protect it. You see what I'm saying? It's too simple. Been there and done that. Helped a lot of people become very successful, and they know that. So if you're willing to pay somebody $200,000-$300,000 for education, y'all come pay me, and I will guarantee you that. I probably shouldn't be saying that because somebody's gonna get mad, but it don't matter. The facts is the facts. You know what I'm saying? What my financial situation is, what I don't have, ain't got nothing to do with you. My whole mindset is, I got the knowledge in my head, and I've been teaching it and continue to teach it. You know, we got to get out of that. He ain't got no Rolls Royce, so how can he teach me how to be rich? He ain't got no big old giant mansion. How can he teach me how to be rich? He ain't stupid either. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a Hollywood kind of person. I don't need no $6 million house. I don't need no Rolls Royce. I sat there and thought to myself, I don't go to stuff like that, so why would I pull up with a Rolls Royce, you know? It's just a bunch of stuff, y'all. It's just, as a people, our people has been bamboozled with this programming, been reprogrammed to be stupid, been programmed to be consumers, you know, been programmed to believe that, oh, you got social media, you should have 1 million followers if you're successful. You know, you should be a pastor, a bishop, a doctor, a lawyer to be successful if you're not. You know, that's how I did this post. I was speaking at, I just posted a video because people was asking me about all these schools I've been speaking at. How did I get in these schools and all that? And I was like, you see me speaking at a lot of schools, but I'm the biggest speaker on the planet, y'all, economically. I'm more concerned about the schools that I ain't spoke at. I should be speaking at a school 5 and 6 days a week, y'all, with the knowledge I have with my background. But I put on my social media, I said I've sat there and watched teachers lose their job. I've watched teachers get fired. I've watched teachers get transferred. I've watched teachers quit their jobs. I've watched teachers step down and be demoted because they was trying to bring me in there and be a speaker. Because why would that happen to them? Why would they go through the problems they went through? Because they know my information is solid. When you look at my background, you can see, oh, he's done all of that crazy stuff he be talking about. This dude has owned a whole lot of cars. This dude has pioneered a whole industry. This dude has shipped cars to Japan. He has relationships with foreigners from foreign countries. You know what I'm saying? He has had some of his buddies or become millionaires. You know, in fact, when I went to the LA Auto Show, I was invited to speak. I was the only person in the automobile LA Auto Show history that came in there and gave a panel discussion and talked about lowriders. The only other black person that was there, or melanated person, that looked like me was there, was the people I bought and Kevin Hart and his crew. Y'all heard what I said? There was 2 stages at the LA Auto Show during Thanksgiving week. There was 2 stages. One was the stage that I spoke on with the lowriders, and another stage Kevin Hart had it. And we was the only 2 people that was at the LA Auto Show that was on stage. And they was like, y'all need to go see TJ. Y'all need to go over there because all TJ got all them hell of a indigenous black owned black car builders over there doing panel discussions, and it was a major disruptor. It was a major disruption. So we made because they knew we was making history because they were like people lied and said black car builders don't exist. There ain't no black lowriders. There ain't no people that look like TJ doing all that. And but yet we was all standing there at the same time taking pictures and doing panel discussions, and it was major. It was major, y'all. I was sitting there with a tear in my eye. It was like epic. It was epic, and they was like, "Wow." Uh-oh. My batteries is like that meant I've been on the phone for a minute. All right, family. I'm about to wrap it up. My phone like it needs to be charged. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get on up out of here. So anyway, if y'all want to take my classes, I got some online classes. I got some consultations, some coaching, some trainings. Y'all can reach out to me at 310-619-3954. Y'all can make a donation to my Cash App at the same number, 310-619-3954. Or y'all can go to my website and book me. Y'all want to book me to come out and speak at one of your next events at your college. If y'all can help me to get into these colleges so I can speak at the main colleges, because they know that these schools are struggling, but they don't have a problem looking you in your face and lying to you saying they ain't, while they take your $200,000 for your child. So not trying to mess up anything for myself, but the facts is the facts. Instead of me taking the money and shut up and be quiet, I'm going to tell you the real. I'm going to make sure I tell y'all the real. So anyway, if y'all like to book me to come speak at one of y'all colleges that wants to make sure the kids are going to be successful, that they're going to want to know what it takes to come back and build our community, let me know. Go to my website, tjlofton.com. All right, family, peace and love. Remember what I said. The skilled labor, the lack of skilled labor is the reason why the economy is so jacked up, because without skilled labor, it forced the cost of everything to go through the roof. I'm going to say that again. The lack of skilled labor is the reason why the economy is so expensive and so many people are out of work. We are only pushing college, and college itself is not enough. College itself is not enough. College alone is not enough. We need businesses in our communities. So if we have skilled labor, we have businesses. People who lose their jobs and say AI took my job that had a skilled labor, they go home and start a business. People who had a college degree that said AI took their job, they go back to school and spend more money and get more in debt. That is facts. And that is the reason why the lack of skilled labor is happening, is because too many people want to put everybody in college. High schools are wrapped around college, and they're designed that you go to college or fail. And because of that, too many people are going to college and not enough people are trying to go into the skilled labor. And because of the lack of skilled labor, the cost of construction is through the roof. The cost of cars is through the roof, because there's not enough people to build the houses, you charge more. There's not enough money to people to build the cars, you charge more. So what do they do when they charge more? The cost of goods and services go up. Cars cost more money, houses cost more money, rehabbing houses cost more money, restoring cars cost more money. So if we want to fix America, we need the trades to be put back into these schools, decrease the amount of people going into college, and we need to limit that to doctors, medical doctors, scientists, and people like that, lawyers and people like that. I think the whole system needs to be restructured, period, honestly. We need to restructure the whole education system when it comes down to getting a degree. When it comes down to higher education, it needs to be restructured. That's my personal opinion, and I love to be the one who do it, because I'm going to make sure everything is there that needs to be there in real time. All right, family, peace and love.